I'm going to show you how to set up fractions on Kami that makes it a little easier for you to solve the problems. So we've been talking about complex fractions. So I'm going to set up by taking my shapes. I'm going to set up a ratio, two ratios to make a proportion. All right, so I'm going to set up one and I'll set up two lines. Okay, then I'll take the text box and I'm going to put an equal sign in between the two ratios because they must be equivalent to each other. And then I'm going to put a 1 for the unit rate for that bottom of the ratio that we've always been talking about. Okay, so now I'm going to figure out the fractions, okay? So I am going to do, first of all, you're going to hit equation, and you're going to click on that insert symbol sign. And we are going to talk about a fraction today. So if I click on my top of my ratio and I decide I want to do 3/5, I type in the 3 off your keyboard and the slash mark, that's with the question mark, and then the 5, and it types the fraction in as a fraction. Otherwise, if I used the text box, it would be 3/5 and it would look like that. So by looking like that on one line horizontally, you might get a little confused with what that fraction is. So by using that equation box, you are ended up with 3/5 looking as a fraction. Okay, so we're going to do 3/5. I'm going to go back to that equation box and click down below, and I'm going to say divided by 9/10. And you can move it. You'll see this little thing pop up here, and you could take and you can move your fraction up a little bit if you choose to. All right. I don't know why it doesn't let me move it. Okay. Okay. So now what I want you to do is pick up your drawing tool, and I want you to draw your line showing what we are going to be doing to go from one fraction to the unit rate. So since 9/10 needs to become a 1, then we're going to divide by 9/10. So pick up that equation box again and pick up your division symbol, divided by 9/10. And then do the same up above, divided by, click your division symbol in that box and put in 9/10. All right, so we are now going to be looking for how that's going to play out and what the answer is going to be. So again, your equation box, all right? And you can click right next to it and the little blue box comes up. We know that we are taking 3/5, and if you hit the space bar, it pops back up, and you can put your division symbol in, divided by 9/10. So we know that we can never divide fractions. We need to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to go over and pick up my drawing tool, and I'm just going to make an arrow showing where I'm going from here. From here, I pick up my equation again and click. So this is 3/5. That stays the same. Hit your space bar, pick up your multiplication symbol, and we know that we need to flip that second fraction to 10/9. Now, if you hit the space bar again, you can put your equal sign in there. We know that 3 times 10 is 30, and 5 times 9 is 45. So now we need to come up with a number that's divisible for both of those. And we know that it's divisible by 5. So let's divide by 5. So I'm going to divide both of these fractions by 5/5. And that's going to equal 6/9. All right, we know that that is divisible by 3. So again, I'm going to divide 3/3. And that's going to equal 2/3. All right. So now I know my final answer is 2/3. So I'm going to go over to my drawing tool and I'm just going to circle my answer of 2/3. So you can use that equation box to write that entire line out without even having to move and go and use your text box.